A few months ago I 100%ed Ace Combat 4 and now it's time to take care of Ace Combat 5 The Unsung War. Set in 2010, 6 years after Ace Combat 4, war looms over the strange reel again, this time between Osea and Yuktobania. You take control of Blaze, a rookie Osean Air Defense Force pilot in the Wardog squadron, which consists of Captain Jack Bartlett, Second Lieutenant Kei Nagase, who is the civilian airline pilot from the Ace Combat 4's escort mission by the way, and Second Lieutenant Alvin H. Davenport. This game is a bit different than the previous one, as you're put very early in the position of being the squadron leader after the captain is shot down in the second mission, and you can give orders to your squad. While these orders are very simple, that is not the only thing you have to take care of. You also have to manage, that means buy and choose planes for each member of your squadron. So, for example, if you want everyone to take the F-16, you have to buy 4 of them. The costs of the planes compared to credits you get per mission aren't so bad, so this doesn't limit you that much, and I really like it. Not only that, the progression of unlocking planes is different as well. Similar to Ace Combat 4, you unlock new planes by completing missions. But almost every plane now has variants, which are unlocked after completing the kill gauge on the base or previous variant. This means that unlocking all of the aircraft in the game will take some time. I'll have to replay and grind a few missions. From what I noticed, only aircraft kills count. Another thing is, you can reply to some questions or orders that the characters give you. It's just a simple yes or no answer and it has pretty much no impact on anything except a few times. It's a cool feature of the game, and also the story, it's much more present here. You have way more cutscenes in between almost all the missions, and you have a total of 27 missions compared to 17, that means 10 more than in the previous game. There are a couple more differences that I'm gonna get into throughout the video, so for now, let's get started with the game. Just like with the previous game, for this 100% I'll have to complete the game on the hardest Ace difficulty, S-rank every mission in the game, hunt down all of the Ace pilots, and much more. We have a total of 123 achievements, so without a further ado, let's get right into it. Just like with Ace Combat 4, I will have to do multiple playthroughs, though this time just 2 will be enough. One on hard difficulty to unlock the rest of the difficulties, and then one on Ace difficulty. This time it gets unlocked after the hard playthrough, so you don't have to play hard and then expert to unlock it. That is a great thing, because one playthrough of the game took me almost 10 hours, compared to just 3 in the previous game. Anyway, let's begin with the first one. Ah, fuck, the glitches again. Okay, that's better. Mission number 1. While on patrol, we spotted an unidentified recon aircraft flying over Osea, and we were to intercept it. It turned out to be a Yuktobanian recon. It ignored our orders, and before long, an enemy squadron came to intercept us. We were to hold fire, and I guess we expected them to hold too, but they didn't, so we shot them down against orders. I instantly noticed that the hitboxes of the planes were a lot smaller, so I had to aim much more precisely as compared to Ace Combat 4. There are achievements for destroying 5, 15 and 50 planes with your main gun, so I'll just have to keep that in mind during my playthrough. It shouldn't be much of an issue though. But damn, honestly, I'm getting a headache from this UI. It's so cluttered and overwhelming. I now remember why I didn't really play this game as a kid. And that's the thing number 1 I'm gonna be talking about. Or actually, I'm not really gonna talk about it, I just wanted to mention it. The HUD is so large, taking up so much of the screen. I was having a headache for the few hours of my playthrough until I got used to it. After that though, it wasn't that bad. In the second mission, a bunch of recon UAVs were returning to their launch ship, and we were to take them down before they got there. Easy stuff, but as we were returning, enemy aircraft intercepted us again and we had to fight them. Easy stuff again, but just before the end, the launch ship shoots a missile at Nagase, but Captain Bartlett intercepts it and redirects it at himself, saving Nagase but getting shot down and bailing out. He wasn't recovered, and Nagase is now, for the rest of the game, going to be a pain in the ass, blaming herself. I got an achievement for completing this mission though, and I get a few more throughout this first playthrough, but I don't really want to say the word achievement over 100 times in this video, so I'll just mention and count them in at the end of the first playthrough. Anyway, after this encounter, the Yuktobanya declares war on Osea as well as a huge offensive, and in the third mission, this time as the squadron leader, we have to help defend the ships while they escape port. We somewhat succeeded, and then we had to defend them once more in the open sea. I really love these early game aircraft, and I feel like flying feels a bit heavier than compared to Ace Combat 4. Not sure if it is actually, but it feels really amazing. I got 2 achievements at the end of this mission: Bronze Shooter for taking down 5 aircraft with my machine gun, and Gold Anchor for completing this mission without losing any of the 4 allied vessels. After all that, the Yuktobanyans attacked our base, the Sand Island, so in the next mission we had to scramble as fast as possible and defend it. These scripted set pieces are a really cool addition to the game. During the mission, some sort of a lieutenant got shot down. I have no idea who's that, but he seemed important, so I guess things weren't going so well for us. However, we successfully defended our base and a new recruit pilot joined our squadron, Grim. He's gonna be our teammate for the rest of the game. I think this is a good time to mention this, but landings and takeoffs are now only part of some missions. There is no return line at all, so you can't return to base to rearm and repair your plane. What the plane has is what you get for the entire mission. This is an interesting change that I didn't like at the beginning, but later on I got used to it and I actually really like it now. I mean, it does add some challenge, especially if you're looking to rank S a mission, because it can leave you in a spot where you run out of ammo and can't finish the mission. Luckily this didn't happen to me, but I had a few close calls. Also, I'm gonna mention another thing: some missions begin with area refueling, and I love every moment of it. You have to manually connect your jet to the drogue, and drogue? I don't know how to say it, but you have to manually connect your jet to it, and then you have to wait for a few seconds to refuel. It does literally nothing, as fuel is not a mechanic in this game, but it's immersive and it's a huge immersion boost for me, so I just love it. Anyway, in the next mission, we were escorting the ships we protected 2 missions ago to ensure that they got safely to inner seas, where the enemies couldn't reach them. Just as everybody was leaving, because we were supposed to be safe at this point, enemy squadrons attacked us. Wow, what else can go wrong?
Ballistic missile incoming! A ballistic missile? Where'd they launch that from? I've been hit! The Vulture took a direct hit! She's sinking! Heavy damage! All hands, abandon ship! What the hell was that attack?
All of the vessels but the Kestrel aircraft carrier were sunk, as well as all the remaining aircraft except our squadron and swordsman. It seems we're getting our ass handed to us, so Osea got the idea to launch and mount some sort of a laser weapon into this spacecraft orbiting Earth called the Arcbird. In the next mission, we're tasked with protecting the launch of the SSTO that's carrying the laser, while the Arcbird descends just above the atmosphere so they can stage. But for a change, we actually succeeded, and in the next mission we defend the Sand Island once more against an invading fleet formation. The enemy also had the submarine that shot the cruise missile 2 missions ago with them, but thanks to our success in defending the SSTO, the Arcbird saved us a few times and later even shot the submarine through the water, requiring it to surface. which we then proceeded to completely destroy. I managed to unlock the Bronze Ace achievement for destroying 200 targets. Next up, we had to guide an allied cargo plane through a friendly AA field. The cargo plane had no radar, so that's why you had to guide it, and since it was carrying some sort of classified cargo, literally the president of Osea, it was considered as an enemy to the friendly AA field. After safely taking them through the field, they had some mechanical troubles and had to make a crash landing. We protected them for a while, and then the 84 92nd Squadron took care of the rest. Thank God. In Lethauntic, it was finally time for a counterattack, and we had to protect the units invading the Yuktobanian mainland. There were some bunkers that we had to strike just at the right time when the ground units began swarming them, and for me that was quite difficult to time right, as I had no idea what the cue to attack was, so I just kept bombing them until it worked. I got the achievement Lighting Hammer for completing the mission without losing any of the 8 allied tanks. In the next mission, Blind Spot, we're off to take down the retreating Yuktobanian forces. They were under the cover of some jamming aircraft, so we took care of that, and then the transport planes fell like nothing. During the chaos though, someone attacked a civilian complex in the area we were operating in. And when asked about it, we can say it was or wasn't us. At first, I thought that the transport planes were full of civilians, and I kinda felt really bad, but that actually wasn't the case. Whatever you say though, your squadron will be suspected of the attack anyway. Also at the beginning, Chopper asks you a very random, unimportant question. Whether you have listened to the song Face of the Coin yet. But unbeknownst to me, the answer determines 2 of the next missions you will play. Sort of a fork. If you say yes to the question, the next missions will be Chain Reaction and Powder Keg, and if you say no, then the next missions will be Reprisal and 4 Horsemen. I chose to say no, because I didn't listen to the song, so Reprisal it is. We had to defend our homeland once again. In retaliation to the Ocean attack on the civilian facility, Yuktobania launches an air raid on a civilian airport and a chemical attack on Bana City. In this mission we took care of Bana City, where gas bombs were deployed in numerous districts and we had to drop neutralizing agents on them to stop the gas from spreading. An interesting change of pace, I liked it. Next up was 4 Horsemen, where we had to do a surprise attack on a munitions factory to clear our name. In the mission, we had to sync our attacks on interlinked radar sites around the factory. You have to time it just right so everyone destroys 4 interlinked radars at once in 4 layers. We then proceeded to bomb and destroy the facility. During the mission, I also destroyed all 4 C5s before they took off, unlocking the "But I only see 4" achievement. And I also destroyed a mysterious hangar and got an achievement for it. These hangars are the requirement for unlocking the prototype aircraft ADF-01 Falken. You see, there are 4 more hangars hidden in the next couple of missions, but 2 out of the 5 are unobtainable in one playthrough, as the missions they are in are the alternative missions to the ones you play. You know, behind those forks that I mentioned previously. Apologies, I explained it like an idiot, so you have to play through the game twice or just finish the alternatives mission in free play to unlock the ADF-01. Anyway, time to take out the last Yuktobanian submarine with the nuclear or whatever rockets. This one is located up north. The mission began with a mid-air refueling section and we headed straight to the submarine. The Tornado's dispenser bombs made this boss fight really easy and short. Off to our next mission, Ice Cage, where we had to clear out an airspace of enemy patrols so our rescue team can come in and exfil prisoners out of prisoner camps. Just as they were extracting the prisoners, stupid fucking Nagase just had to get shot down. And because of that, we had to return in the next mission to find and rescue her. We used some sort of a radar to ping her signal and find her. Her location is not random, by the way, it's always here in this point of the map, so replay-wise, you don't have to do this every time playing the mission. I also got the achievement Guardian for shooting down 10 enemy aircraft with a missile lock on my wingman. Next up is another fork in the missions, where in the previous mission, answering yes to Chopper's questions whether you have listened to the song already, leads us to the mission Desert Arrow, and answering no leads us to Desert Lighting. I answered yes, but I lied because he was just annoying, so I wanted him to stop bothering me with the song. For the first half of the mission, we had to defend a ground attack tank battalion and an air attack bomber squadron until they both reached the enemy bases, and in the second half we had to help them destroy said enemy bases. Afterwards, some counter-assault squadron came and we took care of them. During this mission, I also destroyed another one of those hangars for unlocking the Falken aircraft. I also got an achievement for that. And at the end of the mission, I got 2 more achievements. Silver Shooter for shooting down 15 enemy aircraft using only machine guns, and also Desert Eagle for completing this mission with over 20,000 points before the mission update and without losing more than 3 allies. In the mission Journey Home, all we had to do was a celebratory flight over the stadium in November City, where the Ocean Vice President was giving an anti-war speech. Yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, the Ocean President somehow vanished. I don't know what happened to him, but in his place, the Ocean Vice President was now ruling the country, I guess. However, it turned out to be actually pro-war instead, and the audience began singing an anti-war song. Just moments later, Yuktobania attacked the city and we were the only ones to hold them off. So we did, until Chopper got hit, and later came crashing down into the stadium, dying. That was all the fucker's fault though, as after being hit, he wanted to stay in the air as long as possible to distract the enemies from the city. Thus his electronics failed and his ejection seat wouldn't work. What a fucking dumbass. He even had the audacity to ask, "Where should I put the plane down after ejecting? I don't wanna hit the city." Dude, the whole fucking city is surrounded by empty hills. No suburbs, just hills. Drop the plane over there, man. Well, whatever. You know, I'm actually kinda pissed off because I like the guy. Anyway, during the fighting, HQ tried scrambling jets from nearby bases, but the 84 92nd Squadron relayed a message via comms that it was all just an exercise scenario. Something's fishy about them, I just can't tell what. And in the end, we got to hear this absolute masterpiece. Anyway, time for a counterattack again. In the mission Fortress, we provide close air support and attack a mainland Yuktobanian fortress. The fortress fell in half a day, and in the end, I even got the Silver Ace achievement for shooting down 500 enemy targets. While on our way home from Yuktobania, we actually get bamboozled and attacked by the 84 92nd Squadron. You see? The 84 92nd Squadron doesn't actually exist. No, I mean, there was always something off about them, right? And since we're here, they're also the reason why the Ocean President vanished into thin air. You know, you remember the mission where they picked him up from the crash-landed plane? Yeah, they took him somewhere. We managed to escape and return home, and from here on out, things start to get a bit chaotic, so bear with me. In the meantime, Pops, the mechanic of Sand Island Base, and the reporter who's been recording our story so far connected the dots. Sand Island Base Captain, Hamilton, used to be part of the 84 92nd Squadron back during the Balkan War. So they go to report it to the second in command, who in the meantime found out that Pops, the mechanic, you know, used to be part of the Balkan Air Force as well during the Balkan War.
So, who are you really?
Anyway, shit goes really down. We hide, they seize our jets and begin a search for us. So we escape in some old training jets and we're officially flagged as defectors or something like that. Now comes the follow this guy mission of the game. We pretty much just follow Pops while escaping the 8492nd Squadron by flying low over some sort of volcanic island which fucks with the radar or whatever, and we follow him for literally 10 minutes while Nagase and Grim constantly glaze over how awesome you and Pops are at flying. I mean, alright, it wasn't the worst mission ever, it was actually pretty chill. You get to fly through some caves and all that. It's just 1 out of 27, I don't really mind it. At the end though, we lost them and Swordsman intercepted us. He luckily gave us a signal to bail out, so since we don't really have another option than to trust him, we follow through. There we go, we are officially KIA. The Kestrel aircraft carrier picks us up, the only one that survived, you remember? You see, they were kinda chilling in the back with a bunch of other ships, and one of the ships actually were listening in on Balkan transmissions, and they got some info about the whereabouts of the Ocean president. He was in some ancient castle prison camp in southern Belka. Swordsmen joined our now called Ghosts of Rosgri squadron, and we rescued the president and returned to the Kestrel. Shortly after, the Kestrel picks up another encrypted transmission, which leads us to a mining facility deep in Balkan territory. We take a solo recon flight to scout it, and we find out that Belka is in fact playing both sides. And on top of that, they are storing nukes inside the facility. So in the next mission, we return and attack the facility, destroying the only entrance or exit depending on who you ask or how you look at it, burying the nukes in there forever. However, they still managed to send out a few bombs to Yuktobania somewhere, and thanks to another encrypted transmission, thanks, we got the location of one. A ravine deep in Yuktobania where a resistance group already managed to seize the nuclear bomb. They just needed our help to destroy all the enemy search parties before they were found, so they could defuse it. We did just that, and in the end they left us a message by an unnamed person, which was just so obviously Captain Bartlett, the one who got shot down at the beginning, you remember? And Nagase got so perked up from this. I'm sorry, she's just so fucking annoying, I really don't like her.
Yes, perfectly.
But whatever. Thanks to another encrypted transmission, we learned that the Balkans hijacked the Arkbird and will use it to drop the other nuclear bomb that escaped from the facility onto a city in the Yuktobania. Since the Yuktobanians are not the real enemy here, we are sent to shoot down the Arkbird. Also, because it would kinda make Osea look pretty bad if they dropped the nuke. Anyway, of course we took the Arkbird down without any issues, and this boss fight was absolutely amazing. I know there are more in the future games similar to this one, like these huge aircraft, and I'm excited for them because fighting these flying super weapons is just really cool. Seeing it plummet into the ocean after shooting out its engines was an amazing sight. Anyway, we finally find out who is the mysterious informant sending us encrypted transmissions, and it is in fact the one and only Captain Bartlett. You remember the one who got shot down? He escaped imprisonment and joined the Yuktobanian resistance, and now he needs our help escaping. He also managed to free the Yuktobanian Prime Minister, who was also imprisoned, so now we know for sure that Belka pretty much just planted their men on both sides into Osea and Yuktobania, pitting them against each other. Well, after helping them escape, the Grabark squadron intercepts us. These guys are the 8492nd squadron, just not in disguise anymore. Of course, they're no match for us, but they all bailed out, so we'll definitely meet them again. Since both countries' leaders have been rescued, they go and meet up somewhere far away to negotiate peace and all that, and explain the whole situation to the world. But before they get to do that, the Kestrel gets attacked by Yuktobanian and Ocean fleets, And while the Prime Minister manages to convince a few to join our side, most just don't. So we quickly scramble to defend the Kestrel. We're successful in fending off the attackers, and we get some time to chill. When we rescued Captain Bartlett, he had some Balkan Major with him who had intel on her. After decoding the intel, we learned that the Balkans have a huge nuclear weapon in space orbiting Earth called the Solg, and they are planning to use it to completely obliterate half of the cities in either Yuktobania or Osea. The controls for this weapon are located in an underground facility in Belka. We take off just in time before the Kestrel is sunk by a surprise submarine attack, and with the Yuktobania and Osea finally joining sides, we attack the facility in this huge last battle. I mean, what more could you ask for? In this mission, I also destroyed the hangar with parts for the ADF-01. Anyway, after wiping out the defenses, we fly into the complex and take out the controls for the space weapon.
Target neutralized.
Unfortunately, that is not the end, as there was a failsafe built into the weapon. If the controls were ever cut off, the Solg would automatically plummet into the capital city of Osea, Aured, wiping it out in the process completely. So to prevent that, we scramble one last time, this time from the city of Aured itself. One last mission, and you can absolutely feel it. From the atmosphere and the voices of the characters, you can sense this sort of weird feeling. It's like the war is over, peace has been accomplished, but the danger is not over yet. I mean, we're literally taking off from the highway. As we flew to the intercept point, Grabark and Ofnir squadrons attacked us, but of course they were no match for us. Finally, we destroyed the Solg just before it hits the city, ending the Unsung War.
Box 2. I can still move. I can still fly.
We're gonna do this! Just believe in yourselves!
Just a little bit more.
Just a little more and we can stop this thing. The enemy's laid his strongest cards against us, but no matter.
This is our final flight. We will get through this.
And in the last cutscene, we get some closure on what happened a few years after the wars to both Osea, Belka and Yuktobania, and we also find out that we've officially still been considered KIA, and it was never confirmed who the ghosts of Razgris actually were or if they even existed. Well, with that, I have completed the first playthrough of the game, and I gotta say, after I got used to the UI, it was absolutely amazing. At first I had some doubts about me enjoying it, but honestly, after a few missions, when I got used to everything, it was just amazing. I loved the story, I loved the lore, and I loved the whole setting of the game. Except, fuck Nagase, I still don't like her. For completing all of these missions on hard difficulty, I got an achievement, so let's just add them to the list. But as you can see by the timeline of the video, we're really far from over. Since we have now unlocked the Ace difficulty, we can play through the game again. At first I was skeptical about this, since there is no way to rearm and repair. I was afraid that it would be too difficult. I was thinking about playing through Expert first before going on to Ace, but when I thought about the fact that the game is around 10 hours to complete, maybe less since I'd be skipping the cutscenes, I decided to go straight to Ace and just deal with it later. For S ranking each mission on Ace difficulty, I get an achievement, so again I'm not going to be mentioning these throughout, just at the end of the playthrough. Though I also didn't S rank quite a lot of the missions, so I'll have to return to them in free play anyway, whatever. Another goal for this playthrough will be taking down all of the Ace pilots, as they spawn in New Game Plus on any difficulty, and in Ace Combat 4 they're a bit more challenging this time. Almost all of them spawn only after a certain condition has been met during a mission, and sometimes the mission can end before you are able to meet them. I didn't really know about this, so I had to use the wiki a lot, and I still missed a lot of them. Like for example, in the first mission, the ace pilot Hawk spawns only after shooting down 2 waves of enemy aircraft. If you're not quick enough, which you very likely won't be, the mission ends before you even shoot down the second wave. Or in the third mission, Zepang only spawns after you sink all destroyers and frigates, which you can make, but he spawns so far away that by the time you reach him and begin fighting him, the mission ends. I managed to get him in the end, but I left Hawk for later as I found out it was way too difficult with the F5. These guys also shoot flares, so your missiles can miss. You have to use your guns a bit more often. In First Flight, Mind Ripper spawns after shooting down 2 F4Es and 1 B1B, which this time wasn't difficult at all. I mean, Mind Ripper didn't even get the flare. Zahrada spawns in Whitebird Part 1 after shooting down 2 F-16Cs and 2 F-20As, which again wasn't difficult, but this bitch was dodging all my missiles and I was blind with my gun. Just to add this in, at the end of the mission Frontline, I got the achievement Gold Ace for destroying 1000 targets. In Blind Spot, Dune appears after destroying 6 targets once the E-767 jammer appears. Now this one was tough, as he spawns in the corner of the map completely far away, and no matter how much I tried, I couldn't return back to the fight in time, failing the mission. I did get him though, so I got the achievement for taking him down, but since I didn't complete the mission, it didn't count towards the achievement for shooting down all ace pilots. This will be a problem for later though. In White Noise, Daredevil appears after shooting down the jammer. Again, no issues with this one, just the fact that they kept flying around dodging all my missiles. Chasm spawns in the Desert Arrow mission with the final wave of enemies. This one went down really quickly, just like Proteus in Journey Home, who spawns after Chopper crashes. At the end of the mission Solitaire, I unlocked the achievement Needle's Eye for getting a perfect rating on all landings and air refuels. This required me to finish each landing within 40 seconds and each mid-air refuel within 20 seconds. I pretty much just full throttled all of them, this wasn't that difficult. Swordkill spawns in the mission Ghosts of Rosgrease after destroying 20 targets. This guy was tricky, because if you go above 1000 feet, enemy anti-air begins targeting you. Luckily I had SAMs equipped, so I shot him down from quite a distance. Distant Thunder appears in the mission Heartbreak 1 after the Grabark Squadron spawns. This one was completely useless, as well as Yellow in the mission Aces. I mean, I didn't even fight him and the achievement popped at the beginning of the mission for some reason. He actually appears near the end of the tunnel flight in the section, and I did destroy him just in case, but yeah, I already got the achievement at the beginning, so... During this mission, I also destroyed Hamilton before he escaped, unlocking the Ace of Aces achievement. And last but not least, Replicator appears in the Unsung War, 1 minute before the Solg hits the intercept point. With that, I have completed my second playthrough on Ace difficulty. Honestly, it wasn't even that difficult since I already knew what to expect in each mission, but it was really fun. I definitely felt the difficulty, and I think it was more difficult than Ace Combat 4's Ace. I just didn't S-rank a few missions, so let's return to them in free play. First up, 8492nd, where I also destroyed Twice That, who appears after you destroy all but 2 aircraft. After that, I S-ranked Whitebird Part 1, Frontline, Handful of Hope, Litfuse, Blind Spot, Demons of Rosgrease, Chain Reaction, which was the alternate mission to Reprisal, where I had to defend a civilian airport from an air attack. Then Powder Keg, which was the alternative to Four Horsemen, where I had to destroy a Yuktobanian munitions storage facility, and last but not least Desert Lighting, which was the alternate mission to Desert Arrow. With that, I have S-ranked all of the missions on Ace difficulty, and I unlocked an achievement for each and every one of them. Add them to the list. Honestly, Ace wasn't as difficult as I expected. I didn't really have issues with any mission specifically. Probably the toughest one was the Arcbird boss fight, but other than that, it was manageable and fun. Now I went to shoot down the remaining Ace pilots, first up with Hawk, who spawns in the first mission, except I turned off my recording when I thought I was turning it on. What a fucking dumbass. Anyway, I just had to be really quick when destroying the first two waves so the third one could spawn in with Hawk as well. Next up, I destroyed Ballistic, who appears in Desert Lighting after shooting down 2 aircraft in the last wave of enemies. I mean, that was pretty easy. Then I destroyed the Coder, who spawns in Sea of Chaos after all enemy aircraft or ships are destroyed. And last but not least, Cypher, who appears in the mission Fortress after 6 Yas Gripen 39Cs are shot down, which is like such a fucking weird condition. Because these jets take off throughout the mission, and it takes almost until the end of the mission till the 6th one takes off. At the end of this mission, I also got the achievement Guardian Angel for not losing any allied tanks on Ace difficulty. Well, with that, I shot down all of the Ace pilots, and now I wanted to unlock the ADF-01 Falken, as there are a few aircraft-specific achievements for this, and I need to unlock it anyway. So I returned to Powder Keg and Desert Lighting to destroy the secret hangars in those missions, thus unlocking the Falken. I gotta say, this jet is kinda ugly, but the laser is pretty overpowered. Now, before I get to the mission and plane-specific achievements, I wanted to unlock the XO2, which required me to unlock and buy every single aircraft in the game. To do this, I had to grind all of the aircraft to fill their kill gauge and unlock their next variants in the tree. So I did just that, and I chose the mission Journey Home, as you can get a lot of kills in it fairly quickly. Only aircraft kills count towards the kill gauge, and this mission is pretty much air versus air only, so it's probably the quickest way, I figured at least. During the grind, I also got the Gold Shooter achievement for shooting down 50 aircraft with my machine gun, and after grinding out every single aircraft and buying all of them, I unlocked the XO2. With that done, now comes the huge list of plane and mission specific achievements that I didn't get during my previous playthroughs. It's quite a lot, so please bear with me. To unlock Say Cheese, I had to fly in very close proximity to the SR-71 in Shorebirds for 6 seconds with the F5E. And I also had to find and shoot a rocket at the 50th anniversary logo, which is this grass art or whatever it's called. I was looking around for it for quite a while, but then I found it. It's right outside the city. In open war, I had to get 10 kills using my gun on Ace difficulty with the Su-27. In narrow margin, I had to fly under the main bridge at over 1000 miles per hour while inverted. In first flight, I had to use the Mirage 2000 to take down 15 aircraft within 2 minutes and 20 seconds on either Ace or Expert. This was one of the achievements that took me a while to get, as it was pretty hard. I did it on Expert and it still took me a few attempts. In Rendezvous, I had to fly under all 5 arches of the bridge within 3 seconds of each other. And I also had to shoot down 20 enemy aircraft before the friendly ships received any damage. This was also one of the tougher ones. I replayed it a few times and in the end I used the Falken to get it. In Whitebird Part 1, I had to use the Typhoon to destroy all C-130s before they escaped, and in the latter part of the mission, there are actually 4 B-2s shooting long-range cruise missiles at the facility. I never actually knew that they were there. I thought these missiles just kept spawning somewhere off the map, but no, they're being shot from the B-2s and you can actually destroy them, which stops them from shooting the rockets, obviously. This also unlocks the achievement Missile Repellent. In the front line, I had to use the Rafale M to destroy 25 enemies before the timer reached 1730, that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. These timed challenges are tough. There will be a few more and they require you to be really precise and quick. It's actually really good, I like them, they're a good challenge. In Handful of Hope, I had to cross the AA field before the timer reached 1545. Again, it took me a few attempts as the cargo plane is less agile, so you have to plan your route ahead. In Blind Spot, I had to destroy 2 E-767 jammers before they were revealed on the map, meaning I had about a minute and 30 seconds to destroy them with my gun only, as they were not targetable by missiles. Afterwards, I had to get a kill with any bomb type weapon, which is kinda funny as there are no ground targets in this mission, so you pretty much have to destroy a plane with a bomb. It took me a few attempts, but a C-130 felt like nothing. In Chain Reaction, I had to use a Yas Gripen to destroy 14 targets with the rocket launcher pod. Since the pod has only 12 bursts, I had to destroy at least 2 targets in one burst twice. This wasn't hard as the rockets tend to spread out quite a bit, so this wasn't an issue. In Reprisal, I had to neutralize all of the gas before the timer reached 1350. That means you have exactly 1 minute and 10 seconds. Better be quick. Next up, I had to complete Powder Keg with the F-117 without going below 7,000 feet. This one is a bit tricky as you have to hit the tunnels fairly precisely in the opening. I mean, there is a margin for error as you have 16 bombs for 12 targets, but I don't know, this achievement wasn't that good. Maybe if it were a different mission, I don't know, I didn't really like this one. Though it was unique, I gotta give it that. Also, in the same mission, I had to use the MiG 1.44 to find and kill all 12 shoulder-launched AAs. You may have noticed that during this mission, there's a bunch of rockets being shot at you from the ground, I mean the forests. Well, I actually never knew that you could destroy them. That's pretty cool. You have to either drop a bomb or shoot a rocket at them, or close to them, and they blow up like any other target. This was a tough one though, as I couldn't find the last 12th one. 10 are pretty okay to find as they're in the mission area, but the 11th one is outside of the AO, he's near the hangar with the Falken parts, and the last 12th one only spawns after destroying all but one of the tunnels. I spent at least 2 hours just flying around and looking for the last one, and I swear to God I thought I was crazy. I actually moved on to other missions but returned to this later, and of course I managed to get it in the end, but this was really tough. In Demons of Rosgrease, I had to destroy 7 Picket submarines before they left. These submarines are located in a circular formation around the Hirimfaxi, and they leave really soon after you hit the Hirimfaxi. My tactic to get this achievement was to pick the quickest jet available and destroy the first 4 submarines within 30 seconds.
Hey, our cover's blown anyway. Damn it. Heavy. Halt the resupply. Prepare for immediate dive.
Then I quickly turned to damage the Hirimfaxi within the time limit so it couldn't sink, and as these guys were yapping about resurfacing, I destroyed the last 3 submarines just in time before they left. This one was tougher too, as I attempted a few times during my playthrough, but so far the toughest achievement was finding and shooting a fucking snowman in the Ice Cage mission. This achievement is so fucking stupid and it took me so fucking long to get. The description says to shoot a standard rocket at the snowman in the northeastern prisoner camp. Does this look like a fucking northeastern prisoner camp? Because the funny thing is, I didn't get my direction switched up. I never knew there were more prisoner camps in this mission. I thought only this one, and you see, this camp actually consists of 2 parts, and one of them is northeast of the other one. So I kept looking around the area for the snowman and I just wasn't able to find him. I spent literal hours just going around like a fucking dumbass. I tried googling, but I couldn't even find info about a snowman, only about these fucking polar bears on the previous mission. Great. Luckily, Chow Time commented on the achievement with a link to the screenshot of the location, and thanks to them I was finally able to get it after literal hours of searching around. My goat. Unbelievable, man, unbelievable. Next up, I had to complete White Noise after taking down 3 Chinooks and 3 Apaches that appear after the mission update. The challenge here was that you had to hurry up and go a bit south of the mission AO, but nothing horrible. Another one of these stupid achievements where I had to shoot a rocket at a fucking ant. In Desert Arrow, I had to find and shoot 3 Pac-Man ghosts on the ground. They are hidden between these circular farm fields, so they're actually pretty tough to find, as there's at least 500 of them, and the funny thing is, there's more than 3 of these Pac-Man ghosts. I think in total there's 5 of them, and if you find the 2 extra that don't count in the 3, well, you're unlucky, because then the achievement won't pop as they don't count. So that's exactly what happened to me. I found 3, but one of them was not the one that the achievement wanted for me, so tough luck for me. Luckily, in the comments, there were 2 videos about this, so huge thanks to Positron Cannon and Maxi Alvarez. I probably wouldn't have been able to get this achievement without them. In Desert Lighting, I had to use the Falken and its laser exclusively for the whole mission, and average 5 kills per laser use. This one was fun. You have 14 uses with the laser, and you just gotta get as much targets as possible. The base and the refinery at the end can boost your average a lot. In Journey Home, I had to use the Su-37 and get 7 kills with the gun, 7 kills with the standard missiles, and 7 kills with QAAMs. This one was pretty easy, so there's no need to talk about it. In the mission Fortress, I had to use the YA-10B to destroy 25 targets using the plane's FAEB, which is like this, I guess, napalm of sorts, I don't really know. And I also had to fly through one of these 4 barracks. In 8492, I had to use the EA-18G and take down 7 aircraft using my gun on Ace difficulty. This one was really clunky. I think the enemy jets have a higher speed stat or something because they fly around like fucking flies. But the trick was to get a bunch of them behind me and slow down almost until stalling, letting them get in front of me and then just cutting them down. Cheesing it a bit, but it was really tough. Next up, I just had to complete the mission Final Option in cockpit view and without a HUD. This one was okay, even though I didn't have any blips, and I actually enjoyed how the game looked without a HUD. Made me wonder how it would play without some of the HUD elements, you know, with with a cleaner UI, maybe less radar or less ammo and weapon information. Up next, I had to complete Ancient Walls without letting Sea Goblin take any damage. Since there was no difficulty requirement, I cheesed this one on normal. In Solitaire, I had to fly all the way to the base upside down. This was a fun challenge as you have to stay really low to the ground because of the radars. In Closure, I had to use the A-10A and right after mission start drop below 400 feet and stay there until I destroyed 25 targets, and then I had to use the MiG-21 BIS on Ace difficulty and destroy 15 targets with the rocket launcher pod. These 2 achievements were a little challenging as both of these aircraft are fairly early game, and this is the 22nd mission. Both were fun though, especially the one with the MiG, as it only has 8 bursts with the rockets, meaning I had to destroy at least 2 targets each burst. In Ghosts of Rosgrease, I had to use the EA-6B and destroy 2 Typhoons without going below 4,000 feet. Now this is the mission where above 1,000 feet or something like that, there is the enemy anti-air which just absolutely demolishes you. But the EA-6B has a jammer as its special weapon, which makes you invisible to targeting for a few seconds per each shot. This was a really fun one, and I also had to complete this mission with the XO2 without going below 1,000 miles per hour. This was also a fun challenge as well, as these canyons have a few tight turns. My dumbass actually did this with the Falken first. I guess I read the description of the achievement wrong. Next up, I had to complete White Bird Part 2 with the F-20A after destroying 4 UAVs that come out of the Arcbird. Again, using a pretty early game aircraft in one of the late game levels, but it was fun. In Heartbreak 1, I had to destroy at least 30 targets with the F-22B's SOD special weapon on Ace difficulty. Again, I only had 18 uses, so I had to get at least 2 kills each use at minimum. I didn't really understand how this special weapon worked though, because sometimes it just didn't destroy targets in the radius when it obviously should have. In the Sea of Chaos, I had to use the F-35C and destroy the initial fleet of 14 ships before the timer reached 1840. Now, hands down, this was definitely the toughest achievement overall. There is really no margin for error, as you have only 1 minute and 20 seconds exactly. Having a solid plan was crucial, as each use of the long-range missile had to be perfect. After quite a lot of tries, I managed to get it. Oh, this looks promising. I might be able to get it this time. Alright, that should be good. Yeah, we destroyed both of them. Oh, I gotta get it now. Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be close. Let's go, one left. Oh, let's go! Oh, just as I got destroyed. Ah, that took so long. In Aces, I had to complete the final tunnel run without going below 850 miles per hour. This one was tough too, as I couldn't go very fast because then the doors didn't open enough for me to fit through. I had a really hard time keeping the throttle steady without dropping below 850 miles an hour. I had my fingers around my controller like a dumbass because I had to control both my rudders as well. I'm locked in. My hands are sweating so much. Ooh, that was close, okay. Oh shit, that was even closer. Jesus. Okay, lock in. Oh god, okay, we good, we should be good. The core. Alright, now comes the straight part. We got some time to chill. Alright, I gotta save it. I'm so locked in. Okay, and now this should be alright. There's just a few more turns. Whatever, I don't give a shit about him. Even though I destroyed him, but whatever. These guys, I don't care about them as well. Oh, took a bit of damage, but should be okay. Come on, that's it now. Oh, okay. Nice. And I also had to take down both Grabark and Ofnir squadrons with the XO2 before the timer reached 7 minutes. That's 3 minutes from mission start, and both squadrons intercept you at about 150 into the mission, depending on how quickly you get there. That gives you about a minute and 10 seconds to destroy 8 aircraft. The XO2 is actually really goated, so I managed to do it in just a few tries.
It's so huge. We gotta destroy it.
Oh, threading the needle right now.
Alright, I'm on him.
Is it? Oh, nice. Okay. Wow, that was like the second try. Well, with that, I have finally unlocked all of the mission-specific and aircraft-specific achievements. Jesus, this video is so long, but don't worry, we have just a few achievements left. Now, all that was remaining was arcade mode. This mode is completely separate to the campaign. It even has its own storyline set after the events of Ace Combat 4. You play as Mobius 1 taking down the Free Erusia uprising formed after the war in the previous game. The structure is divided into these 4 different paths, and for the achievement it required me to complete all 4 paths on the highest SSS rank. After completing each path, you have to start from the beginning again. The stages are really short, maybe 2 minutes long or so. I was really afraid that the difficulty would have been comparable to the Ace Combat 4 trial mode, which was really difficult, but no, I was actually delighted to see that it was really easy. I completed every path on the first try and each one took me about 30 minutes to complete. The missions are fun, you have a set amount of targets you have to destroy, and the planes just keep spawning around. Each plane has an amount of points awarded after destroying it, and there are even a few special planes that give you more points. You are timed of course, but each kill gives you a few seconds back. The last stage has you against a few XO2s as a mini boss fight, and it was a lot of fun. There's actually some pretty cool music playing in the background. It kind of reminds me of Mass Effect for some reason. I think I gotta replay the series again. Anyway, the arcade mode was a bit repetitive, but I think that was just because I was playing it back to back, so it's definitely not the game's fault. It's added content, it's not that long, not too stretched, so it's definitely appreciated. It's much better than the trial mode in Ace Combat 4, which sometimes just felt completely unfinished, especially like the first few missions. Anyway, after you complete all 4 routes, you unlock the Hangar, enabling you to choose any plane you have instead of the predetermined F-22. And the last 2 achievements remaining required me to complete any route with the Falken and XO2 on SS rank. And with that, I have Wait. 1 achievement's missing? Oh, yeah, I forgot to finish the mission after shooting down Dune, so I didn't actually get the achievement for shooting down all of the Ace pilots. Let me just do that real quick. Okay, Dune is down. Let's go now, let's return. This should be the last target, if I'm not mistaken. And okay, mission accomplished. Now hopefully, I'm truly hoping that Dune was really the only one I was missing, because if there's any other Ace pilot that I missed or like didn't complete the mission, then I gotta hunt them all down again, I guess. Alright, please. Oh no.
We have succeeded in halting.
Oh yes! Okay, let's go, finally. And with that, I have finally 100%ed Ace Combat 5. This game was honestly a blast to 100%. A huge thanks goes to Lethauntic for making this amazing set that highlights the game's features and content really nicely. Ace Combat 5 took me a lot longer to 100% compared to Ace Combat 4, but I still really liked it. But I'm not sure if I can say that it was better than Ace Combat 4. While the game is definitely a lot more immersive, I feel like the simplicity of Ace Combat 4 is exactly what makes it great. So far, if I had to rank it, of course counting in the 100% as well, I have to say it's below Ace Combat 4. But with that, of course, I don't want to say that Lethauntic did a bad job or something. He did absolutely an amazing job. So huge thanks again goes to them. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I won't be able to 100% all of these games before Ace Combat 8 comes out, but we'll get there eventually, even though it's going to be long after Ace Combat 8. But hey, I hope you'll stick around. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a nice rest of your day, and see you in the next one.